Hey guys, welcome back to another Vendo podcast. I'm joined by Mr. Worldwide, Vinny. How you doing?
I'm great, Darren. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Excited to talk about Amazon Japan today. A bit of a mystery for some of our audience. I know it can be complicated or daunting to sell in the new marketplace, but as we do with a bunch of these different series of podcasts, Vinny and I record on international specifically. Hopefully we can help demystify what's going on over there. So Amazon Japan is the third largest Amazon marketplace behind the US and Germany, and interestingly enough, has the world's third largest population, coincidentally. So with that, we did an Amazon webinar about Japan, so we've got a lot of information. We spoke to an Amazon account manager over there about Japan. So excited for Vinny and I to give you kind of a summary, all the highlights. Vinny, why don't you take it away on the overview for Amazon Japan?
Awesome. Thanks, Darren. Appreciate the time. It's amazing how big Japan is, compared to the US. The US is about 328 million. Japan is right behind them at 128 million. And it's just amazing, right? So, and with that, we know that consumer behavior is also changing. Not only the US, and we see that with all of our clients in the US, but we also are seeing that internationally, right? One important number or metric to keep in mind is internet penetration, and Japan is at a 90%. That's really high. That's really exciting for us.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then aside from that, then you have online shopper penetration. And what that really means is how much are consumers shopping online, and that number has a significant staggering number. It's 72%, right? So that's very encouraging. It just means that consumers are shopping more online. Even so more now, right? Because now people are really being safe at being at home, and the alternative or the gateway there would be going to Amazon.co.jp, right? So
Right. Yep.
That's definitely the way to shop nowadays. And for Japan, is super excited. This information, of course, guys, it's provided by Amazon. We met with them, we've had several conversations with them, and they're able to provide us instance information because they want sellers like us to really be informed in terms of the marketplace, challenging obstacles perhaps, and also they give us good insights as opposed to really hard lines and soft line categories that customers are really penetrating for and shopping for. So excited to throw in a little bit more information on this conversation.
Yeah, thanks, Vinny. Those statistics are a good kind of overview for our audience to understand the size of the prize, right? Vendo's focused. We consider ourselves global. Definitely international initiatives are a big priority for us, helping some of our clients launch there and in other marketplaces. Let's talk a little bit about the website itself. It's interesting because when you go to Amazon Japan, most people think, hey, I'll use Google Translate to see what's going on and try, but they actually offer you an option at the top of the site where you can automatically view the site in English or one of your native languages. So it's quite fascinating there, the way they set that up. Why don't you give us a little bit of insights as to the way the portal is set up, the experience for the consumer, and just an overview of kind of the website experience itself.
No, absolutely. And just when we talk about traffic, people visiting Amazon.co.jp, we're talking about 89 million. That's 14%.
A month.
Yes, a month. Yes. Yeah. That's 14% year over year in 2019, as compared to the previous years. So it just goes to show that Amazon does a really good job on developing a platform that is very multinational. Because if you think about it, if you go to the website, it looks the same, right? It looks the same as the US, as Germany, as any other sites that you go. And really that allows, for consumers that perhaps are so used to the US site and want to shop in Japan or perhaps vice versa, when you have a lot of Japanese consumers shopping and they go to, Amazon.com, everything seems to be the same. So they figured out the right consumer behavior platform, and it seems like year over year, the platform just keeps increasing for them.
But the fee structure there is a little different. I know there are referral fees in some categories, right? Amazon are used to almost a standard 15%, with the exception naturally of certain specialty categories. But for the most part, Japan has lower referral rates, I think, when they're selling on their site there.
No, you're absolutely right. So for now, toys, for example, is 10% compared to the US, where it's 15%. So there's some savings there as a seller, right? accessories, musical instruments, etc. Those are also a lot less compared to the referral fees here in the US. So that's very encouraging as a seller, because now you can perhaps your margins become a little bit bigger, right? When you start
Right.
selling in marketplaces. So definitely take advantage of those savings, because we don't know when those might change, might be updated. And perhaps there's other categories that, as we start navigating the marketplace a lot more, we'll come back and give those insights as an update on maybe, Japan part two, as far as, the international, because it's just so much information. And today we'll just capture, a good overview, but I think understanding that there is some cost savings in certain categories, it's key. It's
Right. Another really interesting call out on the Japanese side versus the American side is their point system is a little bit more highlighted or different. I think they call it their toku real points, or, every purchase you get kind of a points assignment, and you can accumulate those points and redeem them for purchases, almost like a credit card point system. But they do it right there on the listing, and it's like looking at a cash back option right there with every single listing. Very interesting. Any comments on the point system or any insights there?
It makes me believe that that's a trial version that's happening out there that they might eventually roll out, right? You never know with Amazon.
Yeah, that's true. They have been known to beta test different things in different marketplaces. That's a good point, to see that roll out. Yeah. And then in terms of marketing itself, like, we do media buying here, obviously, in both the EU and on the US marketplaces, but the deal resources and the marketing and media buying, what kind of insights did we pick up from the Amazon rep in terms of Japan marketing?
No, so that's a good call out, Darren, and we'll dive in a little bit more in terms of different calendar events. But as far as the overall opportunity, prime deals, obviously, we're heading into at this time of year, especially during our recording, we're heading into Q4. So the nice thing is that internationally, especially with Japan, we all share some of the similar holidays, and a lot of the marketing opportunities are also similar to the US. So if you're a seller that is thinking, okay, I'm successful here in the US, and what do I need to do in Japan? Rest assured that a lot of those opportunities are very similar.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of that holiday calendar, it was very curious from a cultural standpoint to see the different holidays that are applicable, obviously in every country, but specifically in Japan. I don't know if you have that handy, but I know I have the calendar here as well. Do we want to just highlight some of the kind of non sequitur holidays that are interesting in Japan that we don't have here, or do you want me to run through that?
Feel free to run through them, Darren, since you
have it. Yeah, so one of them, and we'll put this in the notes, guys, of the comment section. I'll have our team add this to the podcast as a PDF so you guys can kind of scroll along. But one day was interesting is in March, they have White Day, which is candy and cookies, small gifts, including jewelry, flowers, and other gifts for women. They have Cherry Blossom, the Hanami season in the March-April timeframe, which is typically snack food, beverages, party goods, other picnic-related items. There's the Golden Week, it's a national holiday. There's Silver Week, which is for travel goods in September, on and on. I mean, there's some very interesting seasons and opportunity that are highlighted in Japan on the marketplace. So definitely check out that attachment. We'll put it in the notes there for everybody to review. But again, just another additional marketing opportunity when selling on Amazon Japan. Let's move on. Yeah, let's move on to kind of the blocking and tackling and the tactics, right? Launching on Amazon Japan. We got regulations, we got taxes, we got logistics, shipping, setup, optimization. Do you want to give kind of a broad strokes? And I'll obviously preface it with, you always refer back to our site and our notes, and we'll link you to all the relevant resources. But why don't you give our audience just kind of an overview of all of those quick subjects?
No. Thank you, Darren. So let's start with the very basics, right? How do we get started? Like, how do we really get going? If you already have a Seller Central account on Amazon, it's simply very easy. Go to your inventory tab. Underneath there, you'll find a Sell Global option. And then you can start just register through that marketplace. So Amazon has made it very simple for any seller to do so. So obviously, Vendo is always here to help. So if you need help setting up or perhaps understanding, a little bit more of the logistics of things, always feel free to send us an email. But yeah, that's very simple. And the thing about selling globally too is that Amazon has made it not only very under a platform, obviously I just walked through it, makes it feel very simple, but also if you already have your monthly seller fee, Amazon won't charge you to sell globally. In fact, they'll combine that fee to sell globally. So that's nice in terms of an additional charge that you don't really have to worry about when selling globally. In addition to that, we at Vendo, we have it covered with all the marketing opportunities. But when it comes down to optimizations, we've done a lot of case studies and we've done a lot of A/B testings that just goes to prove that when you turn that infographic that has consumer information, benefits, etc., and you translate that, your conversion just increases. That's a no-brainer. And what we've done is through different A/B, like I mentioned before, through different A/B testings, we've gotten really good at seeing what's really driving that conversion, right? To see, making sure that, and sure enough, when we launched the product, all of our infographics were in English. We made that change, and you can see immediately that we had incremental revenue, our impressions went up, all that good stuff as far as what, as a seller, what we need to look at in terms of increasing, that revenue stream in that new marketplaces. You can totally see a change when you start tackling a lot of the optimizations up front. The first 30 days, I'd say.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then one other call out on that topic, which we had the experience with the EU platform. You got to be very careful how you navigate setting up your imagery, transferring your listings over, because we've seen content be changed on the US side unintentionally when you update it on the international marketplaces, and Japan would be no exception to that. So just be very careful when you're setting up on the Japanese marketplace. If you're not utilizing Vendo, shameless plug there, then it's very important to utilize the Amazon account manager to make sure you're renaming your SKUs, you're transferring different items, because it can cause havoc on your US catalog, and you would think you got hijacked or your listing changed, but it was really you who caused that. So on that topic of optimization, just something for our audience to watch out for when screwing up, by the way, not just in Japan, but any international Amazon marketplace for that matter.
That's a really good advanced tip there, Darren. I think a lot of people wouldn't think of that, and they wouldn't think that the listings are connected, intertwined one way or another. But definitely something to look after for sure.
Yeah. What about product compliance, taxes, things like that? I know you covered taxes briefly, but more so on the product compliance side of things. I know we talked with the account manager about what labeling is needed. Can you give kind of just a quick answer?
Yeah, so if it's a consumable product, obviously, we need to make that conversion in terms of your labels that you have on your nutritional facts and ingredient level. We need to confirm it. It needs to be conform to the marketplace that you're selling to. So in this case, we always are in touch with Amazon. And as far as, let's say, if I was to sell a supplement of some sort, right, and I need to be compliant, they suggested, hey, you know what, just go ahead and make that translation happen, and then just put it on your product. That would suffice. The obviously there's more complicated regulations with other products. You always have to be in the lookout for that. But I would say as a basis, as a foundational element in terms of testing something, launching a product, sending a few units to see how the consumer is going to react, is as simple as that.
Right. Well, on that point, so one slight correction. I think what the Amazon account manager said to us was, you don't necessarily have to resticker your nutritional panel, but you definitely could resticker your ingredients, because there's some restricted items like there on any other marketplace. But like for some of our smaller clients or a smaller brand who's a little bit intimidated, oh, I got to redo all my packaging and translate and do all these things. Rest assured, all to test, to Vinny's point, you can just create a small sticker, put it over the bottle or the package, whatever it may be, translate it for the ingredients, send it off to Amazon FBA, Japan FBA, and off you go. Speaking of which, let's move on to logistics. What's the best way for someone to find providers and navigate that world?
No, the awesome thing about Amazon is they're, day in, day out, they're always creating and expanding their network solutions, right? And this network solutions is basically a landing page within Amazon that allows you to pretty much filter out and search for all the different providers through, it's called the Service Provider Network, the SPN. Mm-hmm. And what that does is, based on your need, if you need a freight for, or perhaps someone that can deal accounting and all the, understanding compliances requirements like we just talked about, you can go to these landing pages and search through a provider. Like Amazon has already vetted these guys. So that only means that they understand the Amazon ecosystem. So if you have any questions, that would be your go-to guide as far as any need. And of course, Vendo can go ahead and do that. We already have connections. We already have established freight forwarders. We already built those and have those in place. But if, for instance, if you're a small seller and are thinking about launching, always reach out either to Vendo or these different service providers, because they'll be able to help you out.
Yeah, that's a great tip, Vinny. I don't think people really utilize the provider network as much as they sometimes could. There's a lot of wealth of resources. Most people turn to Fiverr or other outsourcing sites, but I would say that these are Amazon approved partners. Otherwise, they wouldn't be up on that site. So right. Amazon knows these guys are reliable and it works. They recommended a couple of the shippers as an example for us to reach out to, a couple of which we already use, to Vinny's point, at Vendo. So we do have those relationships and can definitely help. So I think we've touched on a good bunch of key points, and we'll call this maybe Japan, to your point, part one. Take us home. Why don't you summarize some quick key takeaways for our audience?
No, absolutely. So now we've gone through different holidays, right? How you can align with, as you start selling, you start growing in Japan. Definitely look at for those particular holidays that Darren went over. How to sign up. I already walked you through in Seller Central how to easily do it. It's part of the menu. Go to Selling Globally and apply for that channel. Fairly simple. And then we talked about also really the savings in certain categories that you can have. We're seeing a bit of savings as far as referral fees if you're a seller out there, in accessories, toys, musical instruments per se. Those are a few savings. And also how that marketplace has grown throughout the years. And like I mentioned earlier, 89 million, monthly unique visitors, that's a lot. So it's something to really consider as you start growing and expanding internationally.
Yeah, good call outs. A couple of other points I would say would be, the figuring out what to sell on Japan, right? In terms of the marketplace. We have the guide that Amazon provided to us. And if you subscribe to our YouTube channel here, whatever, I'll get our team to make sure you get a copy of this deck, so you don't need to sit through a whole webinar as well. You can use some of these points Vinny and I have summarized along with that deck to help hopefully illuminate some of the missing points that you need to successfully launch and sell on Amazon Japan. With that, Mr. Worldwide, tell people how they can reach out to you.
Yeah. So obviously go to our website. I definitely recommend it. Follow our social media. We're always posting stuff, great content on there, updates, good facts. Those are the things that I personally look after because it's really good insights. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach me at Vinicio@vendocommerce.com. You'll see it below. So, or above. But yeah, definitely follow us and shoot me an email if you have any questions. Always happy to help.
I'm disappointed, Vinny. I thought you were going to tell people they would find you by the pool sipping a glass of wine or, beer or something like that. Okay, if you want them just to email you, fine, no problem. It's all good. But feel free to reach out to us at vendocommerce.com. We've got a great team of experts that can help you with not just international, but obviously all marketplace needs from Walmart.com to Amazon. You can also follow us, like Vinny said, on a lot of our social channels. And most importantly, remember everyone, protect your brand and sell more. All right, thanks, Vinny. Thanks, guys.